For the third and final module, we are going to talk briefly about why men. In the Prevention 101 module, you learned about how important it is for men to be involved as a way to engage influential adults and create protective environments. I would like you to pause this video and watch Jackson Katz's TED Talk about how violence isn't just a women's issue. Jackson Katz has been a pioneer in men's engagement on gender issues and gender-based violence. The link to his TED Talk is in the description box of this video. As we've said in previous modules, 100 Men is part of Prevail's prevention programming. The mission of 100 Men is to develop male leaders who are willing to stand up and oppose violence. We want this to create a ripple effect, getting more men involved, with the ultimate goal of creating a safe community. The purpose of the small groups is really to create a space for men to come together to learn how to become better men, in whatever roles they hold, while connecting with other men who have the same passion for building a safer community for all. By doing so, men are not only gaining meaningful relationships, knowledge, and skills, but are also being prepared to become change makers. Prevail's 100 Men was initially developed in 2015 with the same purpose of engaging men in the community. The primary focus of this engagement was encouraging men to perform acts of service to the community. This quickly evolved into men also creating and implementing projects and events in the community geared towards increasing protective factors for youth. This model was operated within 100 Men for several years and has had really good success in the implementation of projects. We recognize that this model targets the individual level of the socio-ecological model. We also have identified some gaps and opportunities for men to learn, connect with other men, and work at different levels of the social ecological model. In 2020, we've added meetings to the model in order to increase learning opportunities and connection among group members. But small groups takes that one step further. By participating in a small group, men will have the opportunity to develop meaningful relationships through dialogue about real issues that affect men, and be better equipped to advance the mission of 100 Men. We also recognize the value of peer-to-peer learning. Having the ability to learn and challenge one another is extremely beneficial. Lastly, 100 Men understands the importance of providing ample opportunities for men to come together to challenge harmful norms and discover ways they can speak up and influence positive change in their families, friendships, workplaces, and communities. As a small group leader, you will be leading small groups once per month in the off months of 100 Men meetings. We'll explain what that means in just a minute. We also ask leaders to be able to commit 5 to 10 hours per quarter in training and meeting with your small group. Small groups do not have to have a set amount of participants required. It can be as many as 10 or as few as 3 people. We ask that leaders are willing to recruit men to their small group. This can include coworkers, friends, family members, or even strangers. And the 100 Men coordinator will facilitate introductions between the small group leader and any interested person as well. During each meeting, the leader will help facilitate discussion with the group based on the discussion guide provided by the 100 Men coordinator. We also ask that leaders be committed to learning and growth and encourage that in your fellow group members, as well as have a willingness to share knowledge, experiences, and insight regarding the discussion topic with your group, in order to encourage dialogue and participation. Lastly, the 100 Men coordinator is the point person for any and all questions for small group leaders. We ask that you maintain communication with the coordinator regarding any questions or needed training on a given topic. It is crucial for small group leaders to not only understand the mission of 100 Men, but also the values of 100 Men small groups. The 4 values of small groups are show up, join in, be real, and take action. These can be exhibited in various ways. For instance, show up means that I am present and participate in conversation, and I encourage others to join me in self-development, growth, and action. Join in means that I believe in the mission of 100 Men. I am committed to growth and being an agent for change, and I invest in others. Be real means that I lean into difficult topics, conversations, and challenges, and I accept when I am wrong. And lastly, I take action by leading by example, holding myself and others accountable, and empowering others. Earlier, it was said that small groups will meet during the off months of 100 Men quarterly meetings. Here is an example of what that schedule looks like. For example, if the 100 Men quarterly meeting occurs in January, then in February and March small groups would meet. Then in April, everyone would meet as a large group again for the quarterly meeting. Quarterly meetings will be utilized for serving together, planning any upcoming events or projects, and having guest speakers. Leaders will have the freedom to choose date, time, and location of their small group meeting. It is their responsibility to communicate to their group members the logistics of each meeting. It is recommended to choose a specific date, time, and location and repeat that every month. Since your group will meet on the second Tuesday of every month from 7 to 8 p.m. at your home. It is not expected to have the group meetings take place at the leader's home. However, if you are to hold a meeting elsewhere, it is expected that the location of the meeting is appropriate for discussion on sensitive topics. Each month that a small group meets, the leader will receive a discussion guide from the 100-men coordinator. This discussion guide will contain the discussion topic as well as the goal and objectives for such topic. Next, the guide has an introduction section where the leader may have definitions, resources, or any other complementary material to distribute to the group to introduce such topic. Then moving into the discussion questions. This is really the bread and butter of the meeting. This is where most of the time will be spent. In closing, a few questions will be provided to prompt discussion on how members can take what we've discussed and move it into action. All leaders will also be expected to fill out a feedback form from each meeting and return it to the 100-men coordinator. This feedback form contains information about when the meeting was held, how many attended and who they were, as well as what the topic was. The bottom portion of the feedback form contains space for the leaders to report any key takeaways from the meeting. This would include things like aha moments, or maybe a topic that the group got stuck on and talked about for a long time. The topic application portion is a space for the leader to report back what the group members discussed regarding putting the information into action. This section will also be helpful in checking in the following meeting on if and how members carried out their proposed actions. The last section serves as a space for leaders to communicate any needs that they may have to the 100-men coordinator. This could include more information about a specific topic, resources, or requesting a phone call or meeting with the coordinator. And at the very bottom of the form, it asks leaders to rank how well the meeting met the small group values of show up, join in, be real, and take action. Example behaviors for each value can be found on page 5 of the small group leader resource packet that will be made available to you. Each group leader will receive is a resource packet. This resource packet will be emailed to you by the 100-men coordinator. In this packet is information about a myriad of topics like tips for building your small group, logistics of the actual meeting, and troubleshooting common issues, as well as a resource toolbox for you. Congratulations! You made it to the end of the 100-men small group leader training modules. We thank you so much for taking the time to participate in these modules, and we hope that this has provided really helpful information that will encourage you and empower you on your journey of becoming a small group leader. Next, we ask that you fill out the post test as well as the acknowledgement form that will be emailed to you and send it back to the 100-men coordinator. We look forward to supporting you and seeing you make a difference.